It's early morning at the work in the Richtersveld. The wind is quiet, it's slightly chilly, but the sun is on its way. The birds and the blue monkeys, Vervet monkeys, are awake. They've been pesterizing us since yesterday and stole one sweet potato. There's our camp. And we slept like babies with this white noise in our ears. Our peace was disturbed by a small aeroplane doing some low-flying maneuvers. The Orange River makes to the north calls the Richtersveld. This northern part of the Namaqualand is a barren mountainous terrain with sparse vegetation and seaweed being the main source of water for them. The 44 kilometers back to Drift took us about 90 minutes. No stopping this time. The road forked just a few kilometers from the whip in the Quicks River bed, and today we decided to stay in the riverbed and attempt the mud instead of the steep rocky hill. The underground water surfaces at this point of the riverbed, and the vegetation is lush and green. The mud was somewhat of a challenge, but we made it through. Then the rough climb up and down the Akkadis and the Penkop passes went much smoother. We found some more iconic half-men's plants, some still with flowers, and a black-backed jackal scavenging. I don't think I have enough words to describe the beauty of this untouched world. It is such a privilege to travel in this arid country. We greeted and left Nico and Kobe at Sandling's Drift border post and headed for Alexander Bay. The 71 kilometers of sandy corrugated road took us about 90 minutes. The wind was a challenge with sand everywhere. The sight of the green belt along the river is soothing. This arid world is tough. The quick stop to view the Ernest Oppenheimer Bridge that connects Alexander Bay with Weranjemund in Namibia. A roadblock at the Alexander Bay turnoff was somewhat unexpected, but we had nothing to hide. The officer was friendly and efficient. This journey will not be completed if we do not visit the Orange River mouth at Alexander Bay. At the information center, a friendly lady acknowledged our completion of the Namaqualand Eco Trail with a sticker and directed us to the mouth with written instructions. The road is quite unkempt, but it was worth the effort, as the sight of the mouth feels like one enormous triumph. The flamingos greeted us, and we could see some fishermen on the Namibian side. The Orange River is also known as the Harib. Harib is from the Kru word Icarus for Great River. When the Dutch officer Robert Jacob Gordon explored the river in 1779, he named the Orange River in honor of the Dutch royal house, which was known as the House of Orange. European settlers also called the river Richterveld, which means Great River. Although commonly known as the Orange, it is often called by its older name, the Harib. The Orange River is the longest river in South Africa. It flows 2,100 kilometers, draining the western interior of the country. The river forms a large part of the border between South Africa and Namibia, and rising in Lesotho, flows between the Eastern Cape and the Free State provinces, and across the entire width of Northern Cape. It enters the Atlantic Ocean at Alexander Bay. The Orange River estuary is a sensitive and endangered natural area declared as a Ramsar site in 1991. Ramsar is a city in Iran where in 1971 countries signed a convention on wetlands of the international importance. The mouth consists of 2,000 hectares of salt marshes, lagoons with fresh water, sandbanks and reed beds. And after the National estuary, it is regarded as the second most important estuary in South Africa in terms of conservation importance. It supports several fish and bird species and are listed in the Namibian, South Africa and International Red Data books. More specifically, it supports more than 1% of the world's population of 3 species of water birds that are endemic to Southern Africa, namely the Cape cormorant, the hardlobed gull, and the Damara tern. It also supports more than 1% of South African population of 6 species of water birds, namely the black-necked crab, lesser flamingo, chestnut-banded plover, curlew, sandpiper, swift tern, and casplain tern. The river itself is of vital economic importance to the region, providing water for irrigation, mining, industrial and municipal use, as well as hydroelectrical power generation. The Vaal River Basin, part of the broader Orange Basin, is the industrial heartland of South Africa, producing more than 25% of the country's gross domestic product. This text was prepared by the McGregor Museum.